Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a bit of a different kind of video today. It's something I've never done before and hopefully I'll never have to do again. It's sort of, not necessarily a review, but a review of my whole experience that I've had with Vanquish Fitness and the purchase I made in February. So before we start, obviously as a disclaimer, I'm not telling you not to buy from Vanquish ever again. I'm just giving you my personal experience, which you can use however you like. You can disregard it, you can take it into consideration when deciding to buy from Vanquish Fitness. This is just my experience. This is the only time this has happened to me. It could be the one and only time this has ever happened to anyone, and I was just unlucky when I made a purchase. So I'm not telling you not to buy from Vanquish, I'm just giving you my experience, and again you can use this however you like, you don't even have to use this at all. Okay, so the products that I bought were the hoodie and the tracksuit bottoms from their warm-up collection in the grey. They'd just come out and I think it was just under £90, it was £89 something or other. Delivery was free, couldn't argue with that. It was over £75, so that's brilliant. I don't have any footage of the clothing because I literally tried them on, they didn't fit and I didn't like them, so I put them straight back into the bags they came in and sent them off to for a refund, or so I thought. When I put them on, the quality immediately, the quality was not worth the price. I mean, compared to some other brands, it's not a huge amount of money, but still £90 is £90, and the quality of the product was that of my £15 tracksuit I bought off ASOS, so you know what I mean, it was not worth the money, so I thought, okay, I'll just send these back. And through nobody else's fault but my own, I misread the website. It was a bit, you know, the way they worded it was a bit iffy, let's just say that. It's not their fault, it's my fault for not reading it properly. It doesn't say free returns, it says hassle-free returns, and as you can see why when I quickly skim-read it, I got confused. Well, I didn't get confused, I misread it. And obviously that's probably been done on purpose, but that's not for me to say, that's not the issue. So this meant I had to pay for my own returns, which is something I've never done before for any company, for any clothing, for anything, full stop, which was very disappointing. But Vanquish are a small company. You can understand that if lots of people are sending things back, it's going to become too expensive to pay for shipping. So I had to pay £6.50 for delivery, for shipping back with the Royal Mail. What I did, and what I was disappointed by, was the fact that I had to print out my own returns label. I mean, it's not very expensive to print out a returns label and put it in the bag, and I know it's a way of sort of making people less likely to return things, and I understand that, but still I wasn't really happy with that. But nonetheless, I printed it off, you know, sent it away in the original packaging it came in. It does also say on their return slip, we advise that you use a tracked service because they cannot be held responsible for anything that goes missing. And immediately this was a red flag, and I thought, oh gosh, because obviously they're a smaller company, I get that they can't afford to replace stuff that's gone missing, you know, yada yada, for whatever reason. So I looked at the cost of track delivery, and that was about £15 to £20, I can't remember exactly, so that just was not going to happen, so I risked it for was it £6.50 that I paid. I think it was first class to send it back, because it does say on their return slip it has to be returned within 10 days, and I thought, not a problem, I've tried it on, I don't like it. I print the slip off, put the slip in the thing, original packaging, address clearly labelled, £6.50, you know, I'll wait for my money to come back within a couple of weeks. However, this was not the case. As you can see the email now, I've put it on the screen for you. They say that there's a strong odour on the clothing and they can't accept the returns, they're going to send the clothes back to me and I won't be getting my money back. And I thought, well, that can't be right. You know, I was completely clean, I wasn't sweaty, just finished a workout when I tried the clothes on. I'd literally had them on for about a minute and put them straight back into their original packaging, sealed them up and sent them off. The only thing I thought that might have been the case was maybe during transit the packaging had become damaged and, you know, the smell of petrol or something like that had got onto the clothes, in which case I'd have to take up the issue with the Royal Mail. However, the clothes came back. There was nothing wrong with them, not a single thread out of place. There was no strong odour. The only slight odour was the plastic packaging that they came in, so that's nothing to do with me. So I was a little bit confused by this. So I did send them a couple of emails saying, you know, you can't do this is fraud. You can't just decide that you're not going to refund me, which of course they didn't reply to. Now, something else I was a little bit suspicious of is when I went to find a contact phone number, because I thought, you're not replying to my emails, I need to phone you. On the website, it clearly said that our phone number is available on request. I mean, why wouldn't they put it on the website? This was my first question. I don't understand why this was. Maybe they couldn't afford to run a dedicated landline. They were going to give me a mobile number. I had no idea, but that was I don't know if that's illegal or not. It's not for me to say. I was just a bit, confused about that. So it said it's available on request very clearly. It still says that. I have a little screenshot here. So I just did the little contact me thing. Can I have your email address? No, your email address, your phone number, sorry. Blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much what I said. By the time that they replied to me, I'd already gone through the next stage and I was in the process of receiving my money back, that tells you the timescale of how long this took for them to email me. I don't know if they're bogged under with other replies, but it does seem quite strange. But then the email, as you can see, says that they don't have a dedicated phone number, which is completely contradicting to what it says on the website. I'm not sure if that's allowed. Again, not for me to say. However, there is a law in the UK that if you have bought an item online that you haven't seen in person, it's different for within a shop. If you go into a shop and buy something, you're not entitled to a refund. However, if you buy something online and you haven't seen it, you are legally, it's called I wrote this down, I don't want to get this wrong, the Consumer Contracts Regulation. So if you are legally entitled to a refund within 14 days of the purchase, if it's been bought sight unseen online. So, I was entitled to a refund. There was no issue with the product. It's not faulty, but I'm legally entitled to a refund and they're not giving it to me. So, I wasn't going to just let them steal £90 off me, which is essentially what they'd done. So I contacted my bank and I spoke to I think it was the fraud department or something like that. I can't remember exactly who it was. And they were incredibly helpful. Basically, the long and short of it is, Visa, any payment done through Visa, and I use my Visa card, is protected by Visa. And what can happen is, so when you pay for something, I think Visa takes the money off of you and takes it to them, and then they give it to the company. So they said what Visa can do is they can do what's called a chargeback or a payback or something like that, where they do an investigation, and if it's successful, they'll take the money off of Vanquish Fitness and then they'll give it straight back to me, give it to the bank to give to me. So I thought, brilliant. What I had to do was literally take photos of absolutely everything. I had to take photos of the clothes, every email Vanquish had sent me. I think the man's exact words were, the more the better, you can't have too much evidence really, because this is an investigation now. And the thing that saved me was I had the postage receipt, apparently. I had the receipt for sending the £6.50 for the Royal Mail, and he said that's going to be vital. So, they said it would happen within, I think, 14 days or 31 days or something like that, for the outcome to be received. So I sent off every communication I'd had regarding the purchase, and lo and behold, Visa came through and took the money back off of Vanquish and gave it back to me, because they'd found that what Vanquish done was not allowed. I don't know if they'd found it was illegal. I don't know if they're allowed to say, obviously they're not the police, but they'd found what they'd done was not allowed, and luckily I got reimbursed, which was the best solution. I mean, there's probably some sort of legal case here because they did breach the Consumer Contracts Regulation, but I don't want to sue someone. I haven't got time for that. I just want my money back, and so for that to be the end of it. So there you go. So why did I make this video? I think there's some lessons to be learned here, for myself included. Luckily, I was protected by a visa and they managed to sort it out for me, but it could have gone the other way and I could have lost £90, which, you know, I'm a student, that's a lot of money. But there are also lessons for other people to be learnt from me. The first one is research. I mean, this video is technically research for someone. You need to look up every single, you know, review you possibly can before you buy from one of these smaller companies. You know, a bigger company, for example Nike, they're world recognised, they make huge profits. If something was to go wrong with their shoe, chances are they'll probably just send you a new pair. I know someone at school back in the day, he put a hole in his shoe, his Nike trainer, he just sent off to Nike, you know, there's a hole in my shoe. They just sent him a brand new pair. They were at, you know, £100 trainers. They don't care. It's nothing to them. Whereas with a smaller company, they need to fight for your sales. It's a bigger percentage of their margin. So you need to do your research because they will try anything basically to make the sale. Check the returns policy. Actually check it properly. I checked it. I didn't check it properly. If it says hassle-free, which was obviously, again, a massive lie in hindsight, it wasn't hassle-free at all, was it? So that's another thing they've lied about, but there you go. Make sure it says free returns, and if it doesn't, accept that. It's probably going to cost quite a lot to send the clothes back. Keep records of everything. My saving grace was the fact I had records of the postage, every email they'd sent to me, the clothes, you know, I had records of everything, and that's what managed to get my money back. And if I hadn't have had that, then I'd have chucked the receipt away, I'd have shredded the receipt, burnt it, whatever. You know, that would have been bad for me. I'd be £90 gone, potentially. And really, with common sense, isn't it? It's just be careful. You don't know who these people are, you don't know what they're selling. Because it looked high quality on the website when it turned up, it was not, which is, you know, the whole reason for the return. So you just have to be careful, use your head a little bit, and hopefully this video has gone some way to illustrate what can go wrong and how you can fix it. So again, if something like this has happened to you before, be sure to contact your bank. They're probably the best place to start because they have you know, departments to sort out this sort of thing, and obviously if not, there's trading standards and things like that you could go to. But there you go, that's the video. I hope I've certainly learnt from my mistake, and I was lucky that nothing, you know, terrible happened. I didn't lose my money, I didn't lose out. Again, I'm not telling you not to buy from Vanquish. This could have just been an issue with me. It could have been the person who sniffed my clothes thought there was an odour, but they'd stepped in dog poo that day. You know, it could have been anything. I'm not telling you not to buy from Vanquish. I will never be buying from Vanquish again, as you can probably tell. But other people have had good experiences. It's up to you to make your own decision. So thank you for for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and there'll be more content, hopefully all positive. I hate leaving being negative. Some more positive content to come, so thank you very much.